Hello and welcome to my CyberRange platform demonstrative tutorial or video. Right, so first things first, we've got Kali Linux machine here, which is running 2018.4. Username root, password is Cykey, C-Y-K-E-Y, and that's used throughout the system. We'll log into client 1, which is set to static IP address 11, so it's 176.16.1.11, whereas the Kali is static IP address 176.16.1.10, and the Kali Linux is static to 10, whereas the clients can be any other number, where 11 can be a different integer. Right, so if we just launch the GUI from here, we can see we've got a little graphical user interface here, which is nice. It only hosts 5 clients at the moment, but the software is flexible, and this GUI would in the future cater for dozens, if not, up to 100 clients. It's a terminate all button, which terminates the program for all of the attack vectors. In the future, again, the terminate button would be per client. So if one person, for example, falls ill or can't carry on, then we can just terminate that one node as opposed to all of them. The Windows 7 application has Mozilla Thunderbird, Chrome, etc., and we'll see them throughout the exercise. If we run attack 1, get rid of that. So attack 1 is live. So we've just launched the first CyberRange narrative. As you can see, we've just been sent an email. We've got our monitor program here, so we can see exactly what's going on. If we double click on the morning brief, we can see an email which gives the task of the day, which is adding data into this country GDP spreadsheet, which is LibreOffice. It's all open source. And this is also Thunderbird, which is also open source. Right, so if we open up country GDP, we should see a spreadsheet. Now I've already entered some values into here, but in this case we'll just add some more onto the end. So the idea being is that we'd have a printout where the user can just do some data input whilst they're on the range. So in this case I've just put in 56.02, 450.96, and these are the GDP values of each country. Right, so we've just been sent another email. Double click on that, you can see it's just normal business chat. Over on the other machine we can see exactly what's going on, so you can see that's Captivate, the active window. We can see that we've access to country ddp.xlsx, we've access to inbox, etc., and we've access to these emails as well. So this machine here captures everything that's going on into its connected machine via a bridge network. It's multicast connection. Right, moving on. I'll show you around a bit. So we've just been sent another email. We'll double click on that for the time being, just so we register it. Again, it's just normal chit chat. If we go into Chrome, we can see the company portal, which was mocked up. We've got a home page, which is this page. We've got an email, so you can access your email via a web client, but in this case we don't need it. We've got a search, which is a mock-up of Google. We've also got safe software, which is vetted by the company, which will come later in the narrative. And we've also got IT support. Now in this, I've done some string capture stuff, so I'll just read this email, get out of the way. So again, he's complaining about the task that James has set us. Anyway, moving back to here, so we've got string capture. So if I type in, for example, Skype, there we go, it's already been filled. So hit enter there, it will send us to a mock-up of my Skype page. I know it doesn't necessarily look anything like Skype, but it's what I have for Skype at the moment, and that's, in this case, the legitimate web page. Again, it would work for Google. Google.com would be sent to this. Because it's an isolated network, because of malware, etc., we almost have to create our own internet, and the amount of web pages would grow over time, so you'd almost have like an isolated internet. Right, so we've just been sent another email from James Rafferty, our manager. So we'll click on this, and he's given us a task. So I forgot to mention earlier, we need to update Skype for Business. Can we update the existing applications? There's loads of new features we can utilize. Okay, so in that case, we've got two options here. We can go to the Skype page by typing in Skype, and we download it this way. We've just downloaded an executable and etc. Or if we went back to the home page, we could have went on to the software which has been vetted for the correct course of action, and we could have downloaded it this way as well. As you can see, it would have downloaded exactly the same file, but because we clicked on the Skype page on the internet, which isn't necessarily vetted, we can see that we've actually lost 10 points from a resultant score over on the left hand plane, which isn't great because we've just lost 10 points. But anyway, as you can see, all of this is recorded, and different decisions are made on each action we do in the virtual world. So we'll just open up Henry's email. Normal business chit chat. As you can see, he's got the psyche.org domain, and this is generally the safe domain. There'll be signs later on we can look out for phishing emails. So exit those. Now, whilst we wait for more emails to populate, the user will just carry on adding some numerical values to the task. So just tapping away. Oh, I've just been sent another email. Tom Watson, he is not happy with Henry. Okay. Now what would happen is, if I click on an email, there will be a 30-second delay. However, if I ignored the email, then we would have lost 2 points, which is quite minimal, but over time it does add up. And it would have also waited 120 seconds as opposed to 30. This is so that the participant can progress through the range at a quicker pace if they are more active with the emails. So here we go, here's our first phishing email. So update personal records. Update personal records isn't capital R, so it's a bit iffy already. Human resources, we'll double click on this. Straight away, suspicious link, psyche with a hyphen. Now that's not the correct domain, but in this case we'll be naive, so we'll just click on it. And we've been sent to this kind of email page. So for example, we'll just type in some stuff, blah, 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 and sign in. Now at the moment this only just refreshes, but in the future I want to put a redirect link into here so it would take us straight back to our homepage to make it a bit more interactive. So it'll be like, assuming that was real. Now, in a real world situation, by doing that they could have harvested our credentials and escalated their privileges, so that's not great, and we've also lost 15 points by doing so. So that's recorded there. All of these minus points are recorded for the after action report, which is sent to the participant at the end of the exercise. So we've just been sent another email from Tia. It's generally a normal, safe email, but again it's about general business stuff. Well, not in this case, but it's a safe email. And then we go on from Tom, which is just a bit of fun really. So trying to keep it light-hearted for the participant whilst they're on the range. Moving on. What else can I show you? So I've done some footer stuff. I've kind of given this quite detailed stuff. I mean, it's not really 9001 compliant, but anyway. Emails, you can log into there by using your client email address and psyche as a password. Here we go. Warm reason productivity tool from Dave. Right, if we look at this, Dave Martindale isn't the same as David Martindale, so this is another sign of a phishing email. In this case, we've got the correct domain. However, the Dave.Martindale isn't David.Martindale, so we know it's not legit. He's also added an attachment called warm reason. So what we'll do is we'll save that, because we're again quite naive. So we'll save it to our desktop. As you can see, it just saves there. Warm reason, funny enough, is an Easter egg it's an anagram for ransomware. Now the user wouldn't necessarily know this until I told them, but anyway, we've just downloaded ransomware. So what I'm going to do is save that. I've got a good state. And I'm going to run the application. Straight away we've got this window here saying we've been infected with ransomware. Country's GTP.xlxx is no longer available. To redeem access to a file, send 0.3 Bitcoin, which Bitcoin is even spelt incorrectly, to a bit wallet number. So now if we just see if it is accessible, we'll just click on this, and straight away we can see that all our progress today on this document has now become corrupt, which isn't great for business productivity. Closing that, back to the emails because we're a bit stressed now. Gary sent us an email saying he's been having troubles with his work computer, serverware in this case. Now, the funny thing about this one reason productivity tool that I created, it's not really a real ransomware strain, but it acts as one. It just reverses the bits around. So if I actually click on it again, it will come up with a warning message, but it will also come up OK. So every time you click, it will change it around. So this time it's come back to where we were before, and we can just continue, but the participant on the range wouldn't know that. Again, this is all tracking everything we're doing, so we've got a detailed list. Right, urgent action required. Again, it's got a hyphen, so we know it's a phishing email, but the content seems legit because we've just been attacked by ransomware, so the user may be tricked into thinking, okay, this is a resolution, I need to use this. However, TeamViewer is a remote access tool, and we know that it allows people outside the network to actually gain access to your computer, and maybe they want to steal this country GDP file, who knows. In this case, we're naive, so we'll click on it to launch it, we'll save it, etc. And we won't actually set it up, but that's where the simulation ends. So as you can see, the window's now collapsed. We're back to this active state, and we should have been sent a results email, which is here. So if we click on this, we can see that client 1 start time is at 12:43 in the morning, which it is right now, and we can also see a breakdown of how we lost points. We lost 10 points for installing software from an external site, not a vetted site. We lost 15 points from logging into the fake Tabnet web page. We've also lost 2 points for not actually opening an email in time. We've lost 10 points for accessing the ransomware email, and a further 20 points for running it. And we've also lost another 20 points for accessing and installing the TeamViewer at the first attempt. Now, if we waited a while, we would have had a second phishing email, and if we were tempted by the second email, we would have lost 15 points as opposed to 20 because we weren't so click heavy. The end time is 53, and the total time for the simulation was 9 minutes and 47 seconds. Our total mark was 23% out of 100%, and the pass criteria is 70%. It also says that we failed to meet the 70%, and we have to speak to the moderator for a debrief presentation. The presentation will be in the form of a PowerPoint after the CyberRange platform. And that is it in a quick overview. As you can see, in the future, it would be nice if the task was a bit more interactive on the company portal, and also the ability to actually send emails back to people as well. But that would obviously need a lot of development and string captures depending on the content, and it would need the whole system would need to be a lot more kind of diverse in that sense. And yeah, so as I say, each person will get a test result. They'll be debriefed from it, and then they'll be fed into the interactive examination afterwards. And they'll also have an opportunity to give me feedback on the UX, and also do a NASA TLX feedback form as well. Thank you for watching.